Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat today, Ford. There's a lot of rumors floating about that the brand new Mustang that will be coming out in 2015, maybe late 2014, this particular vehicle is going to have a fair amount of weight saved off of the automobile as a fair use of more exotic materials than the Mustang has ever had before. A little bit of carbon and a little bit of aluminum being used on this automobile. We could save as much weight as much as 400 pounds off the automobile, which is a pretty huge weight off of last year's model or the 2014 current model that we have now. So pretty impressive automobile, not to mention this is going to be a world car. It's going to be sold around the world, so can't wait to get the real deal specs on this thing when it comes out. Now on the bad side of some Ford news, the owners of the Ford C-Max can expect a little cash coming back from Ford, as Ford is going to have to eat a little crow, especially on their fuel economy standard numbers. The numbers that came out on this automobile were 47 miles to the gallon, which they expected this automobile to hit, but apparently that hasn't been able to be very well reached in the real world, so they're dumping it down now a little bit from 47 miles to the gallon now down to 43 miles to the gallon. So if you're an owner of one of these automobiles, you can expect a check of $550 coming your way, and if you're a leasee of one of these automobiles, there's going to be a check of $325 coming your way. Also hearing a lot of rumors floating about that a lot of other manufacturers are having the same issue that Ford is, and may have to do the same thing that Ford is doing right now. A couple of Japanese manufacturers and also a couple of German manufacturers may be in on this list, but we'll keep you in tune to this when it comes to this in the future. Speaking of a German manufacturer, BMW showed this off at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, which was the brand new M4 concept. Very, very little is known about this particular automobile. No drivetrain, no nothing about this automobile. Other than it looks remarkably a lot like the M3, but that being said, the M3 wasn't a bad looking car to look at anyway. Now, one of the things you see right off the bat, huge air intakes on the front of this automobile, which tends to lead us to believe, again, that the rumors are true that the normally aspirated V8 that was in this automobile may go by the wayside in favor of a twin turbocharged V6 power plant between the front wheels of this particular automobile. Obviously, the power still going to the rear end of this automobile. Now, also, a fair amount of carbon fiber is going to be used in this thing, and carbon fiber reinforced plastic. That includes the front splitter, I should say, the side sills, and also the rear diffuser are all going to be reinforced plastic with carbon fiber. Now, again, this vehicle is fairly attractive to me, and I cannot wait to see this on U.S. highways coming very, very soon. But if you look at it pretty close, it is pretty production ready. There's not much on this thing that screams concept to me. They don't even have any real crazy out there wheels on this particular automobile, so I think you're getting to see a real deal glimpse into the future of what the next M4 and the 4 Series is going to look like that they're showing off down in Pebble Beach. Another vehicle showing off in Pebble Beach is this particular automobile. This is the Cadillac Elmiraj project, or the concept version. The Elmiraj is actually going to have, supposedly, a 550 brake horsepower twin turbocharged V8. Now, when you really look at this particular automobile, it is more of a concept vehicle. Now, I don't talk a whole lot about concepts on this particular program, mainly because I don't really care for concepts. I don't like to see way off in the future looks. I'd rather see something a little more production ready. But you can always look at some of these automobiles and see some production tweaks that may be coming down the line. If you look at the front end of this automobile, there's a good chance that this new grille could be the new look for Cadillac in the future. Obviously, the headlights aren't going to exist, the big wheels and tires aren't going to exist in a production model, and chances are if this vehicle ever sees the light of day as a production vehicle, it won't be a coupe version, it'll probably be a four-door sedan version. But nonetheless, the interior is spectacular. Obviously, will not make production ready, but fantastic to look at. There's some pretty cool little videos on the web showing off this automobile. Pretty doggone slick. And if you look at the rear three-quarter view of this particular automobile, kind of shines back to maybe an Audi A5 or an RS5. At least the RS5 would be the one I'd rather it be. But very, very beautiful automobile. I would think they'd love to see Cadillac build something exactly like this. It would really be a real kick in the pants to that particular organization to have a flagship version like this model. Also shown off on this particular model is a brand new emblem for Cadillac. This could very well be the new face for Cadillac. We've rumored in the past that at Pebble Beach they would be showing off a new emblem that could be the new badge for Cadillac in the future. No real word on whether this is or is not this particular deal, but on the Elmiraj project or Elmiraj concept, this particular vehicle had this badge. So I'm thinking this may be it. That's a pretty handsome badge to boot. Next up on the list, Rolls-Royce is in the news as they have confirmed by 2016 we'll have a brand new flagship, the Rolls-Royce Phantom. Now, not a whole lot is known about this automobile other than it probably still will be on the BMW 7 Series platform. Also, it probably will retain that monster V12 engine that is in the present-day Phantom as we speak. But there's a lot of concept art on the interwebs about it, but when we get some concrete stuff, we'll be showing you off. By 2016, brand new Phantom. Next up on the list, some sad news. This is the factory for the Weisman group. This particular group, which is actually Weisman's actually a small gecko, and they build these particular models. This was the MF3 version. Now, these were basically all custom-built automobiles around a drivetrain from BMW's M division. And this came up through the MF3 all the way up to the MF4 and then the present one with the MF5 GT. This particular model was somewhat of a monster. It had a 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8 making 557 brake horsepower. Now that drivetrain along with that 6-speed automatic transmission that was in this automobile came out of the X6 or the X6M division models from BMW. Vehicle only weighed 3,100 pounds and never sold in the United States, but one of the videos that I checked out over the interwebs about this particular model back in September of 2012, there was a lot of talk that Weisman was putting together a group to actually get some of these vehicles to be shipped into North America. And if they did come to the States, there was talk that it was going to cost somewhere around $200,000 US. But it was a pretty sweet piece of kit. It's sad to say that this may be going by the wayside as they are in a first part of the court system to actually go into bankruptcy. But we'll keep you in tune. Hopefully, I'd love to see an 11th hour buyer come in and snatch up this particular manufacturer. Next up on the list, just 24 hours from the taping, before the taping of this particular program, this particular automobile. This is a 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB 4-cam NART Spider. Now, NART actually stood for North American Racing Team. Now, Ferrari only built 10 of these automobiles that sold, so this is a rare, rare bird, and this thing set a record, not just but 24 hours from the taping of this program, a actual record for a North American automobile being sold to the public. And you're not going to believe what this thing sold for. RM Auctions was selling this vehicle out in California. There was talk that this thing was going to bring in, of course, according to RM Auctions, that this vehicle was going to sell for somewhere between 14 and 17 million US dollars. Well, this thing blew that out of the water. It sold for $27.5 million, which blows out of the water the last version that actually had the U.S. record, which was this particular vehicle, which was a 1954 Testarossa concept that actually sold for $16.4 million US dollars. Another Ferrari in that particular list. So an impressive deal, and it starts to show a little bit more that the U.S. economy and what follows is hopefully the world economy's starting on the comeback, where people are starting to loosen up their purse strings to buy classic automobiles as an investment. It's a pretty good sign, hopefully, moving forward. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. You don't have to be a member of Facebook to check it out. You can poke around and see what we're doing over there. If you are a member of Facebook, give us a like, and you can be in on the stuff that we do every day over there. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you again real soon.